Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another sort of predictions type of video in today's Walking Dead Q&A. In this one, we're going to start with answering the question, how do we think The Walking Dead Season 7 is going to end?
You see, we're the big swinging world, have been for a long time. It seems people are forgetting that. So now, our big swinging is gonna swing harder and faster, take off like a helicopter, and blow all these away. Subscribers, are you with me? What's going on, Trev? We're going to war.
And to just kind of add on for the Timeline Explained video, if you guys missed it on Christmas Eve, the 24th, I released a Timeline Explained for The Walking Dead where we went through from the very beginning of the series, it's a 35-minute video, all the way to present in The Walking Dead and explain the days through. Just to kind of tack on to that, I didn't mention in the video, that's not necessarily my personal timeline. I didn't go through the series and write down the dates myself. That's from the wiki. So that's, I'm not sure exactly 100%, who was all involved with creating the wiki. The wiki is usually very good. The wiki is great for Walking Dead. If you want to know any info about it, it's got tons of info there. And so I appreciate whoever put that together. Obviously, with so many seasons, it's very hard to put together something like that. And some of the things on it are very arguable. I mean, when people ask me, Trev, how long do you think it's been in the zombie apocalypse? I'd say probably 2.5 years is what I would think. So they've gone through probably 2 winters and, are, close to halfway through that next year cycle. But in the TV series, it's not so easy to tell. It's like, did they go through 2 winters or did they just go through 1? And that would have been at the end of season 2. During that time skip, they went through the winter and then they were back into the spring. So are we to assume that they're still in the same year cycle and that they didn't go through another winter? Oh man, it's pretty tough to say. And when would they have, if you look at it from start of season 3 to season 7 where we're at now, where was there a winter in there? In terms of their attire, it looks like maybe the end of season 4 or something, but man, that's pretty tough to say. So I guess it's pretty hard, and it's hard to fit the time perfectly. Like, it doesn't fit perfectly for the TV series 100%, I think. But hopefully eventually we could hear from somebody like Kirkman or Gimple or somebody like that who could tell us exactly how long it's been. But that's based off of everything that has been released so far as I know, and it's pretty close. But I would think that it would be a bit longer than that timeline has listed. I would probably say 2 winters. I'm not sure where you'd squeeze it in there, but it just feels like it should be more than 1 winter. It feels like it should be 2 full year cycles and then a little bit more, to me anyway. But you guys can write your comments in that video, and go to the video if you missed it, if you haven't seen it yet. Let me know what you guys think and how long you think it's been. And you can write here as well, too. Write in the comments here below. How long do you think it's been in the zombie apocalypse after seeing the timeline? Do you think it's a bit crunched? I think, honestly, it's a little bit crunched. I think, you could extend or add in some days in between stuff, and I think it makes more sense that way. But, again, it's not mine. Next one's from Shannon. Says, Trev, have you considered that since The Walking Dead has already finished filming Season 7, that Sasha has already been killed off, and that's why Sonequa took the role for the Star Trek role that she's going to be in? Yeah, I definitely considered it, and I'll probably do my death predictions video pretty soon. I'll start working on that probably this week or next week and really go through everything what I think we're going to see for the second half and who I think is going to be killed off. But definitely, if you think that Sasha is going to be killed off this half because she's been cast a main role in a Star Trek show, that's a pretty easy and a good prediction, I think, that's likely. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, and if she survives this year. I like the character. I hope she will, but I could definitely see that as making sense for sure. Julio Bernal says, Q&A, hey Trev, don't our group of survivors ever celebrate holidays? And so for Julio, David Murphy replied, because Glenn wanted a baseball bat for Christmas. So that was a pretty good reply. I wanted to include that and give my thoughts. So how can you celebrate when people just keep dying all the time? It's pretty hard to be happy when people are just dying like crazy. I mean, you can try to be optimistic, but even the best optimists may still get into some depression in that type of world. But yeah, I guess it would feel weird to celebrate when you have so many people that can't celebrate. So, or maybe they just don't want to. But also, I mean, again, with the timeline too, it's pretty hard to tell. Where is Christmas time? Obviously during the winter, is that during time skips? Do they celebrate during time skips? Did they have a good time at the prison, maybe going into season 4, at the end of season 3 to season 4 during that time skip? I don't know when there was peace. We don't really get to see too much of that. I like to see a little bit more, as long as they don't, focus on it for too long, like too many episodes of peace and happiness and that. I will say season 4's premiere, I felt like people were a little bit upset because it was so peaceful that they were like, this isn't as exciting as usual when everyone's fighting for their lives. But you get to see kind of dreams and wishes, like the table and them all eating and stuff in Alexandria and that. So I guess that's probably the closest we'll come to celebrating. It's kind of like a dream, but they can't really do it because, just obviously the way things are going. Ostro1980 says, "Hey Trev, do you think that The Walking Dead is still must-watch TV? Obviously, The Walking Dead is must-watch for all of us here, but the ratings are saying otherwise. Do you think people are just waiting to binge the show at a later date instead of watching every week?" Well, I think that you're onto something here, Ostro, which is that and also technology is making it so that people can record things, DVR things, and a lot more people are getting these, DVR devices and things like this nowadays. Some cable packages include, TiVo and different crazy, all kinds of stuff depending on where you live and where you're at, to record it, or satellite or whatever you have. There's all kinds of different ways to record it and watch it later. You got people pirate it, stuff like that, download it, watch it later. Or some people wait to watch it on Netflix and that kind of stuff. I still think that The Walking Dead is one of the most watched shows on TV, right up there with Game of Thrones, some other shows. A lot of people like Vikings and other series like that. I still think it is one of the most watched series that there is. But it's lost some steam. You're right to say so. It's lost some steam, but I knew it was going to. I mean, I kind of thought it would. You never know when the peaks are going to come and when things are going to go down. You can never predict that. You never know how crowds 100% are going to respond to things and are going to like things. But The Walking Dead was so huge after season 5. In the premiere of season 5 and everything, there was so much buzz around the show. It comes to the question: is it going to get bigger, or is it going to kind of flounder, get a little smaller, kind of stable? 3 directions you can go. You can get bigger, you can stay the same, or you can go down. And you could argue that staying the same isn't even really an option, because that's very hard to do as well. And it's like up and down and up and down and up and down. So yeah, for me, obviously, like you said, for a lot of us diehard Walking Dead fans, it's obviously must-watch for a lot of us. But, for casual viewers, you're right. A lot of people are not as into it as they were before. But if you look at it the way I've kind of been looking at it recently, which is like the season 7 premiere is like the climax for the kind of survival horror type of story arc that we've been going through from the beginning of the series until now, if you want to break it into that. And now we're getting into a different type of story with a much larger world and more characters, and it's just the scale's gotten a lot bigger, and it's a lot different from what it was prior. It's not about just one small group of 10 or 12 people, a dozen people trying to survive in the world and having all these different things happen to them. There's a lot more things that are coming up and a lot more things that are going to happen in the future, and it's getting a lot bigger. So it's hard to keep people, glued for 7 seasons. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be parts. Season 4 kind of was similar in this way, where after season 3 and season 2, a lot of people were like, crazy for Walking Dead. And then I remember in season 4, when I was reviewing it and everything, and a lot of feedback from you guys, where, after a little bit in season 4, people were like, it's okay. I don't have to watch it right away. I can maybe watch it later or something. For me, though, I mean, Walking Dead, love Walking Dead. Same with comic series. I read it every day. I've been reading the comic series every release since, for 8 or 9 years. I've been reading every single release, and I know the dates that it's released, and I, read it right away and I review it. It's just my favorite. So, I mean, everyone's different. Obviously, there's things more important in life than Walking Dead, like work and stuff like that, and family. But, I mean, yeah, casual viewers, you're right. It's hit a little bit of a lull, and it's just what it is. For some people, it's not. For me, it is, and it will continue to be until it eventually ends, unless they really screw it up or something, which I don't see them doing. AJ Unlimited says, Trev, would you agree that Negan is basically the Deadpool of the Walking Dead universe? So for AJ, no, I wouldn't. Deadpool and Negan are very, very different. You could say that Negan by himself might be somewhat like Deadpool. Deadpool's not a mastermind character. If you've read Deadpool, if you know the character, if you've seen the movie and all the comics, sometimes in the comics he can be kind of shown that not really. He's usually an underling to almost everybody. I mean, I can't think of a team that Deadpool led once. Negan builds like Rick. He's a mastermind. He builds, he takes control of the saviors. That's a different type of villain than someone like Deadpool. You could say the Joker is similar to Negan because the Joker's more mastermind. He thinks up plots and he's got, his crew under him. He's got Harley and he's got all these other goons and stuff like that. He's a mastermind type of character. Deadpool doesn't give enough of a shit to be a mastermind character. Deadpool is just like, I'm just having fun, going crazy, psychopathic, whatever. They're both psychos, but I would say they're very, very different in my opinion. And the last one will be from Henrik, and then also Andy Guadalupe. He says, "Hey Trev, Q&A. I don't know if you've answered this already, but when do you think we will see Heath again, or is he gone for good? Thanks." So I don't think he's gone for good. I don't think he's going to be just left out there forever. I think they will bring him back, and they're probably planning to bring him back season 9, most likely with the Whispers, if I'm correct. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Maybe we could see him in season 8 at some point, but I'm guessing around season 9. They could even push it into season 10, because you get into things like with Morgan, Lenny James, he had other series he was working on, so even though Gimple wanted to bring him back in sooner, he wasn't able to until Lenny James was free, and then he was able to bring him in season 5 because Lenny James had the time to get back into Walking Dead when he had Low Winter Sun and he had other series he was doing. The same thing could be happening for the actor who plays Heath, Corey Hawkins. I believe that's his name. I think that's his name. Just thinking off the top of my head here. But for him, I mean, he's got other shows. He's working on other stuff. But I think he'll be back because, even Lenny James came back. And Lenny James is an in-demand, actor. Not to say Corey Hawkins isn't, but Lenny James is very in-demand. He's an amazing actor, and he's got tons of shows and stuff. He's always working on stuff. So, man. So thanks for the questions, guys. Another good one for today. And check out the timeline if you guys missed it. It's a Christmas special. It's over 35 minutes. So if you got some time, you want to watch that in the holidays, check it out, man, and let me know what you guys think about the times and kind of what your thoughts are. Remember, no one's really right or wrong here until we get an official one, which we may never get because it's hard to kind of explain these things. Maybe the TV series doesn't work out perfectly to have an official one. Because again, it's a TV show. They may not necessarily put that much. A lot of times they're stressed for deadlines. They got to get the show out and stuff. And so, you guys get what I'm saying. If you like this video, please don't forget to thumb it up below, guys. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left, click the damn button, subscribe for this video. See you guys again tomorrow for another strap. Same piece. Later, guys. See ya.
Shiva, are you ready?